public comment on items not on the agenda? Anyone can speak about anything. Oh, shoot, I jumped ahead. Sorry. Well, given that we have no public comment, let's do a roll call.
Okay, so online, we have Adrian Beck, Andrew Chorney, Carrie Powers, Cheryl Hartman, Eric Dixon, Jason Emery, Kyla Leonards, and MCAT. In 206, we have Commissioners Vero and Slotnick, Chris Lounsbury, Ann Hughes, John Hart, Alicia Beckholtz, Allison France, Amy Bristow, and myself, Annie Cathy.
Awesome, thank you. We already asked for public comments. We're jumping around here in order, but we do have a consent agenda. Is there anything on here anyone would like to talk about? I was just scanning this, Chris, and I had a question.
Sure.
What's an RDH? Susan Taylor, RDH at PHC.
That is a great question. I do not know.
Registered.
Not dietitian.
I don't know if it's a dental or.
Dental hygienist.
Dental hygienist.
Registered dental hygienist.
There you go.
Nice job.
You figured it out. Way to go,
Excellent.
John Hart.
We just had to
Are we sure?
crowdsource it.
I mean, yes, because there's always ads for dentists and hygienists.
I've never heard of it registered.
I haven't heard of the registered, but it could maybe it's.
Seems like
It's a revenue generating.
There you go. There it is, RDH.
Google says.
Okay.
Oh.
Go to Google.
That question's been answered.
Yes, I'd move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, any public comment? Right, all in favor? Aye.
Josh, you second.
Oh, I seconded it too. Yeah, thanks. Okay, Shane has an action item for us.
Eric.
Oh, Eric will do it.
I have an action item for you. Shane is double booked with TTAC, so he asked me to step in. And so this is a professional services agreement with Morrison Merrily. This is another of our ARPA funded bridge projects that we are working with Morrison Merrily to develop rehabilitation plans for 3 bridges. They're pretty big ones. Schwartz Creek is in Clinton. Petty Creek is the one that goes to Petty Creek Road over the Clark Fork River, and then of course the Van Buren Street footbridge. We've been looking at the 2 over the Clark Fork River because they're pretty big structures. They're old. They're both from the, I think, 60s or 70s. So they're in pretty good shape still, but we'd like to do or like to consider some rehab options with maybe some deck repairs and some painting. We've got just minor issues that we'd like to look at to prolong the life so that we can get as much life out of those two structures as we can. They're big and they're going to be expensive to replace. So hoping that we can come up with a very cost-effective means of rehabilitation to get those back up in really good shape instead of good shape. So the other one, Van Buren. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, how long would we extend the life of those 2 bigger bridges?
Oh,
Between 2.
you know, by tens of years, 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, they're
wow.
good for, 50, 75 years as they are, but, just every step that we can take along the way to make sure that we don't get into, a situation where all of a sudden, if we didn't take care of a rust issue on the steel girders, that all of a sudden it becomes an issue and there's no way to repair it. I mean, these steps would hopefully be things that would get the longest lifespan that we could. If we're, thinking it could be a 75-year life and we're at 50 now, then we're going to make sure that we get to that 75 or 80-year life.
Oh, God. Okay. Thank you. I thought it was an additional 75 years.
No, just maximizing what the expected is from their original construction date in the 60s and 70s.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. And then just a quick one on Van Buren. I think that is mostly for a rail repair or not repair, but consider a new rail option that we don't have to fight the locks of love with. So I think we're going to look at design options for that and potentially a full climbing inspection where they can look at all the elements of the truss structure that aren't normally looked at.
So where will the locks of love go?
Good question.
Well, I don't know.
Jacob's Island, that's very lock friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, I know there was that consideration earlier where maybe we set up a chain link fence or some other structure nearby where people could still hang their locks of love, just not on the bridge.
Thank you.
Hey, Eric, do you have an estimate of the added weight that the locks of love have added to that bridge? Does
We
anybody
actually
think that?
we actually did that a few years ago, and it was only, maybe I don't know if it was on the order of 1,000 pounds or so. Depends on how many locks are there. But I think someone from the road department actually counted the number of locks at the time, guessed at a weight, and we came up with something that was not structurally concerning at this point.
I finally went and saw it last night for the very
Yeah.
first time, and I thought that it was going to be massive amounts of locks, and I was underwhelmed.
Moderate.
I-
Yeah.
Less love than you thought.
It was less love than I thought.
Everybody's at home on the internet.
It did have a really particular odor about the bridge, and I didn't know if it was the wood or like the low water, but anyways. But,
It's true.
I think it's the treat in the wood.
okay.
It does have a funny odor.
Gotcha.
All right,
Well, I move to approve the PSA.
second that. All in favor,
I,
unless there's any
Thank you.
public comment on this bridge. Okay, we have some correspondence. Thanks, Eric.
Yes, okay, so this is a letter of support for Open Air's application for a National Endowment for the Arts grant that would support their Artist in Residence program.
Great.
thank you
Yeah,
for
we're-
doing this so
Yeah,
quickly.
thank you. Hope they get the grant.
And Commissioner Sturmeyer is not here, but he did ask that his signature be stamped on the letter.
Okay.
He did have a chance to review
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
Oh, as opposed to,
Normally-
yeah,
oh,
the-
the.
Or we did not,
Carpenter.
it would just not reflect.
Oh, okay.
We can't blink, we don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That don't look so bad.
Gotta wait, yeah, we heard you.
Playing cookies. Thanks. So, Adrian, are you open to doing a little wildfire update?
You bet. Good morning. First off, I'll just kind of run through the big fires that we have going on, but then if you have any additional questions, feel free to chime in. The Colt fire continues to just kind of incrementally grow, but nothing too concerning at this point. Yesterday morning, we were able to lift the evacuation orders on the Rivero Flats area. And so now effectively, all of the homes kind of in and around that area are on a warning. The two areas, Lake Alva and Rainy Lake, those campgrounds remain closed for right now. Just from the Forest Service's perspective, it's just easier to manage that way. We're continuing to work with the incident management team that is up there. That particular team will time out on their 14-day roll will be over on Saturday. New incoming team is Joe Sampson's complex incident management team. He's a team we've worked with in the past, so we're feeling really good about that, and we'll get a good tie in there. The Big Knife Fire burning just outside of Arlee did and has made its way into Missoula County. Not terribly concerning as far as our infrastructure or homes that right now, but they did in brief a complex incident management team with the IC of Barons on Tuesday night. So yesterday was kind of their first full day of having that fire. It's been complexed together with a couple other large fires that are burning up on the reservation. So the Mill Pocket Fire and the Nirada Fire have been complexed with the Big Knife Fire, all under that incident management team. They do have a meeting tonight, a public meeting tonight up in Arlee, and then they'll have another one up near Elmo for the Nirada and the Mill Pocket Fires, a little closer proximity to those on Friday night. Some tough weather conditions coming for both of those two fires that are kind of on the landscape with frontal passage coming in. So could see some winds, certainly are expecting to see some lightning come with that. And we're all have our fingers crossed for some precipitation that might come with that as well. Cooler temperatures going into next week. So kind of just wait and see. Obviously, gave you kind of an update on the fire, the Triple L fire that was down in Lolo on Sunday. Real tough conditions, red flag day, high winds, accidental fire, human caused. just real light flashy fuels and just got up and moved really, really quickly, but a real robust multi-agency response from not only mutual aid provided by Florence, City of Missoula, East Missoula, but to Missoula Rural, that is. But then also we had lots of aviation support from DNRC and the U.S. Forest Service, and then a lot of engines from both of those agencies as well. So
How was it human caused?
anything that's not natural caused by lightning is typically human caused. So even like a power pole is considered a human caused fire. I don't know the exact cause of this other than that they've determined it was human caused and it was accidental.
Got it. Okay,
Wow.
thanks.
Adrian, what's the smoke situation like in Sealy?
You know, I was looking at it this morning. Their air quality is definitely worse than what we're experiencing down here in the valley, but it's I think as of this morning it was classified as I don't want to make anything up. Hold on just a second. As of this morning, they were looking at moderate and expecting to probably stay in moderate for most of the day in the Sealy area, unhealthy for sensitive groups in the Condon area. But what they've been seeing is that, now I've lost you guys. Okay. What they've been seeing is a general improvement actually in the air quality in the going into the afternoon, and then it kind of settles back down in the evening. We've been pretty fortunate with the proximity of the number of large fires, not only in Idaho, but just general to western Montana, that our air quality has remained pretty good. So we've had good transport winds.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else?
We're good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, unless we have anything else, I think we're done.
How's the smoke impacting your lungs? Your super long, crazy runs. I get worried.
I don't run if it's higher than orange.
Okay,
Or
good.
higher than yellow. If it's above mine, I
Yes.
don't run.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Thanks, everybody.
I learned that